Blessings everyone, Shmene here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like, comment, share if it feels aligned to do so. Firstly, I want to start off by wishing everyone a beautiful day. I know times right now are still pretty challenging, and I just trust that everyone is flowing to the best of their ability and adapting to the changes, as well as practicing safe and any necessary social distancing protocol required by their area. Obviously, amidst the quarantine and everything going on, two very special occurrences are happening this week, and that is Earth Day and the new moon. And so when I woke up this rising, I just had this little nudging in my spirit to do an oracle reading with my goddess Isis deck. This is the very first deck I ever got for myself, and granted, I don't do readings all the time. I do feel very connected with this deck, and the way I like to even do my readings is very spirit-led and intuitive, and for the most part, I don't even draw the cards myself. I allow them to either fall out of the deck or flip out, however Spirit wants to show me the messages in regards to my intention or questions that I am requesting guidance or wisdom from. So for this reading, I specifically wanted to ask for guidance for my community, for honestly everyone, the world really, but particularly artists and healers and entrepreneurs, young ones who, like myself, are being affected by the quarantine. And I know everyone is not experiencing the same challenges per se. Some people may be experiencing financial challenges. Other people may be experiencing self-care or spirit or mental health struggles at this time because of this, self-quarantine, this self-isolation, and this inadvertent self-reflection. So I just asked Spirit to tap in and share whatever she felt called to share, and that is the result of this reading. I hope you enjoy. The Lunar Queen. There is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles of rest and replenishment as essential to balance our actions of power and demonstration. You are asked to allow this replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. So starting off with our first card, the Lunar Queen, I just felt like this was so divine. Honestly, I receive this card so often, especially around the new moon, but especially during this time, I feel like, could this be any more perfect? Literally, we are in a cycle and a shift that's going on right now in just our whole global system. We are literally being forced to rest and balance out all of this hustle and bustle and, get the bag. And I feel like up until the point of the mandated quarantine, so many folks were literally forcing themselves to do instead of just be. I think it's so important that we do recognize that balance is necessary, and to take time for self-care, because especially during this time, now that we've already entered this global shift, we are seeing our old economic systems disintegrate. We're seeing people take better care of their health and diet, and there's just going to be a whole transformation of how we even live our lives. But in a sense, it's kind of going back to the original way our ancestors used to do things, when we operated from love and peace and community. And so if you're feeling this energy that is a bit uncomfortable right now, I feel like it's really Spirit and the universe and God really just trying to tell you to relax. Take advantage of this quarantine to do nothing if you need to. Or take advantage of this time to self-care to the max. Journal, release, eat high vibrational foods, drink tea, go out in nature, feel the sun kiss your skin. Whatever is going to help you replenish from the spirit, from the mind, from the body, you're being called to do that now. Scales of balance. Balancing give and take, directing and flowing, play and solitude are ways to heal the relationship between the inner masculine and feminine energies. Connection with the body is the most powerful form of healing for the feminine energy, as it holds the secrets to divine feminine wisdom. So dance, sing, play. So with our next card, Scales of Balance, I feel like this is literally the perfect card to come next. Honestly, I just feel so strongly about my connection to this deck because the readings just be on point. But literally, like mentioned in the previous card, balance. This is the time to balance our energy, especially if prior to quarantine and the whole, global pause, you were feeling very pressured to work and do and produce and, just go without taking time for yourself. That do energy is very masculine, and this shift that we're experiencing right now in our consciousness overall is shifting from this very patriarchal, toxic masculine energy into the softer, more flowy, and relaxed feminine energy. And so, especially during this time where we're quarantining and staying indoors, make sure that you're tapping into your body still. Obviously, with all the go and work and productivity from before, we were probably getting movement in a sense, but not the type of movement that I feel our spirit really needs. So if you're not already into yoga or dancing for pleasure or going outside, taking walks in your neighborhood or hiking in the park, if it's safe to do so in your area, I definitely recommend going out in nature, putting your bare feet to the ground, earthing, allowing the electromagnetic energy from the literal physical earth heal you. If you don't have that privilege or accessibility, then just go in the mirror, play your favorite playlist, whatever music that makes you feel good, play that, and just let your body move in any way that it feels it wants to express itself. If you love to sing, sing as loud as you want, with no restrictions, without judgment. Give yourself that freedom and liberty to just be and flow like water. And if you don't already, I definitely recommend stretching, especially before bed and when you rise in the AM. It is so important to really loosen those joints and muscles, especially if, you're at home right now and you're doing a lot of computer work or, just you're stagnant and just kind of sitting more often than usual. So just take this time to really balance out that stagnant energy with fluidity. Mother of life. When life seems dry, depleted, filled with repetitive tasks, or simply stagnant and stifled, Isis, the mother of life, holds the ability to revive even the most numb, resistant, and difficult circumstances in your life. She calls to you now, seeking to bestow gifts of life upon you. Be bold and brave. Open your arms and receive. Okay, y'all, this card really had me just feeling so wow. Like, firstly, Earth Day is coming up, literally on Wednesday. And of course, what do we refer to our planet as? Mother Earth, Mama Gaia. We just know that she is literally that physical embodiment of the divine feminine and home. Like, this is our home. And so I feel like, how in sync is it that literally so many people, probably at the start of this year, setting their intentions for the new decade, 2020, clear vision, clarity, etc., etc. I feel like so many people were calling in, just a new way of being, a new way of operating in their lives, not wanting to work a regular 9 to 5, not wanting to live a mundane and just boring, repetitive life, just trying to, cover our life expenses and pay our bills. In a sense, I feel like collectively we asked for this pause in life. And I think it's so divine that Isis, the Egyptian goddess, aka the mother of life, is specifically being drawn in this reading because it's like she's literally granted us what we asked for. Granted, I don't take away from anyone, or I don't mean to offend anyone who may be experiencing challenges right now, but I'm just offering a more positive perspective to just the situation at hand and how we can take this opportunity of rest and quarantine to really reflect on how we've been operating in our work life and just life in general. And if there is mundanity, if you have been feeling, stagnant in your work or business life, maybe in your creative energy, literally in any aspect of your life, I think that this is the perfect time to really call in that spiritual guidance, to call in that divine power, to allow you to receive any downloads that can help you shift your energy and even shift your practices. And so that by the time that the quarantine is over, you're doing it in a whole new way that is even more elevated, that is even more aligned with who you are deep inside, that is authentic to you, and that makes you feel happy, excited, and motivated. So yes, open your arms and receive this gift. Utilize this energy and alchemize it into something that can be used to your advantage. Talismans of potency. Sacred tools and objects can become an extension of your energy field, focusing your power and intention, helping you heal the split between spirit and matter, bringing physical matter more deeply into light and life. You are encouraged to work with sacred materials in a conscious way to help your own healing and enjoyment of the material world as a part of your spiritual practice. Wow. So I've never actually received this card in a reading before, but again, I just feel so much divine alignment in every single card that fell out of this shuffle. So, obviously, a lot of us are working from home due to the mandated quarantine. Regardless of whether your job has allowed you to work from home and you have that luxury, or perhaps you may have lost hours at work or even got laid off. Whatever the circumstance is, no need to judge it. Of course, regardless of your situation, I know that a lot of us are entrepreneurial beings, creative beings, spiritual beings, and we are using this time to work on our business or projects, catch up on things that we've been meaning to create or just put intention on. And I think that with this card, it's really telling us to tap more into our spirit more than, taking that energy from even before the quarantine of like, I gotta produce, but I'm caught up in all the hustle and bustle of life and like, can I get a break? So again, thinking about, our previous cards about balance, it's so important for us to really take this time to tap into our spiritual tools, our tools that allow us to operate from a clear, positive, and, just elevated conscious mindset. Because when we are flowing in energy that is of love and abundance, then the doing part in the material world becomes a lot easier. So if you don't already meditate or journal to release or write out gratitude lists and affirmations or even script in terms of using the law of attraction, I definitely recommend doing that during this time. It's the perfect way to really utilize this break from life that we are getting to really hone in on our spiritual energy, on our creative energy that lies deep within our sacral chakra. So, this card is really just encouraging us to use sacred tools to our advantage for our benefit. If you have crystals, if you have plants, incense, cleansing herbs, whatever, sound bowls, if you have your own deck, maybe start doing more readings for yourself, especially in regards to areas that you'd like to work on or, just receive more growth and guidance in. Spirit of Isis. Beloved initiate, there are times to surrender and let go, but there are never times to give up. Persist with your bold faith and inspired action until the impossible happens. Isis has the spirit of triumph and will never fail in her quest. No matter how bold or impossible it seems, let her inspire you. Believe. Yes, I love this card, Spirit of Isis. Isis showing up once again directly in this reading. And I just love the energy of this message here. Of course, if you need to let something go because it's no longer serving you, let it go. And I think that collectively, we as a global community have chosen to let go of our old capitalistic, patriarchal, toxic, biased, and overall unserving systems. And we are taking this time to rest and replenish, to balance, and use our sacred tools so that at the end of this quarantine, we will come into the world and go back into the flow of things triumphant. We will come with rejuvenated minds, bodies, souls, and we will operate from a higher vibration. We will operate from a higher elevated mindset, and we will be able to discern what no longer serves us in every aspect of our lives, not just the work system or the capitalist system. How impossible did it seem literally before this time that being a slave to the 9-to-5 system was like ever going to stop, or being in control of our destiny, being in control of our reality? I feel so inspired right now, and I know that it's the spirit of Isis. It's the spirit of all of us that really know and trust that love and peace and community, deep connection, abundance is going to win. So believe it. Power over 7 scorpions. You are being initiated into the magic of conjuring so as to have power to affect lower vibrational forces through your own will and spoken word. You are guided to see this powerful gift with compassion and discernment, with mercy and non-judgment. You can then manage any toxicity in your life swiftly and with great effect. So, we are flowing beautifully into our next card, which, I know I keep saying it, is so divine, especially for this time right now. I feel like, obviously, with so many of us being on our phones and computers and really absorbing a lot of media and from different sources, different perspectives, and of course, different theories of what's going on in regards to the pandemic and the coronavirus in general, I feel like it can be a bit overwhelming to intake all of this information, especially when so many of it operates in different frequencies. So, I feel like this card is really telling us that at the end of the day, we have the power to control our reality and take the information given to us with a grain of salt to use our different lenses to observe and, of course, with non-judgment, categorize things in a way that helps us realize what truly feels aligned with our desired reality. If you're seeing things in regards to theories, things coming from the shadows or the dark into the light, things about the government or, 5G and the effects on our health and, a lot of fear mongering and scare tactics, take that with compassion for those who are still operating from fear and are genuinely scared or even being genuinely affected by what's going on in a negative way. Have compassion, have patience, and just utilize this as an opportunity to spread even more love, to spread even more light, to have faith and stay grounded in our power, to heal and to stay in abundance. And I feel like from this particular situation, like the card is also saying, at any point in our life when we deal with these lower vibrations or toxic energies, we will be able to take matters into our own hands and shift our power or shift our mindsets and our energy back into our power. Proper burial for freedom. There is nothing to be gained and everything to be lost by trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us. Osiris, Lord of the Dead, guides you now to release that which no longer needs to be a part of your life so that you may be free. Wow, okay, y'all. This card right here definitely just sent a whole tingling sensation throughout my body and my spirit. I feel like this card right here is the overarching spirit of what this time really means. It's time to release these old patterns, these old systems, and shift our energy towards more love, more abundance, more light, more positivity, more creation, more connection, authentic, genuine connection, authentic, genuine expression. And so, with the energy of Osiris, essentially this card is reminding us that it's okay to let go of whatever is no longer serving us. The time is now. The shift has already happened. And so there's no need to remain in a self-imprisoned box. You're allowed to be free. We're allowed to live life by our own accord, and we are equipped with the tools and the knowledge and the rest and space to learn how to do so. Ancient Power Mysteries. The Oracle guides you to honor the power of your voice, whether through spoken or sung words, or through what you write, speak about, or stand for symbolically. You have a potentially very powerful healing voice, and you are guided to recognize the responsibility that you have for what you proclaim through your voice. So, this is technically our last card of the reading in regards to when I was shuffling and the cards that just kind of fell from the deck. The very last card is actually the back of the deck, which we'll get into after this, but essentially with this card, I feel like this is our call to action. This is really the energy of what Spirit is calling us and guiding us to use this time to do. All of us are so powerful, actually. And many of us do have messages, do have art and songs and poems and stories to share and tell the world that need to be heard. And so I feel like this energy right now, especially with Earth Day, the new moon, like if you feel something like on your spirit or your heart, like an inkling or a nudging to actually create and share with your community, whether that's online, on Instagram, on your story, or making a YouTube video, or just releasing it into your journal. Do that, because to use our voices in all these different creative ways is powerful, and we have such potent energy and support, powerful, potent, divine support behind what we speak into our world, into our reality. And so it's important to use these gifts to serve not only ourselves, but the world around us. Serpent of Fire. Do not assess your current ability based on past standards, as they no longer apply to you. You are stronger and more powerful now than you have been before. You need to learn afresh what you are capable of, and Isis helps you now. Finally, we have our back of the deck card, the Serpent of Fire. Wow. I feel like this is just the icing on the cake. This is literally just clarification and a reminder that the old systems are done. There's no resorting back to the past. I feel like a lot of people have been expressing that they can't wait for things to go back to normal, but there is no going back to normal. Normal wasn't working, and normal is no longer going to be at play once we are back and out in the world again. We are strengthening our minds, bodies, and spirits during this time of rest and rejuvenation, during this break, this global pause, so that when we leave, we have all the tools needed to create powerful impact, powerful art, powerful connection in ways that perhaps we've never experienced before. And I feel like this is the perfect time to really, like I've mentioned before, reflect, reset, change something, anything that you're recognizing that you don't like or that you weren't really aligned with in, your past reality. This is the time to do it. And you have protection and you have support. So trust that this is all a part of the journey, that this is all a part of the process, and that you're safe. Okay, everyone, thank you for tuning in to this reading. I trust that you receive these messages and you take what you need, leave what you don't, and you remain in your power. You keep operating from love, you spread your light, and you do what's best for you. Continue to flow with the challenges and the waves as best as you can. And I'm sending amazing energy your way. Please spend this upcoming Earth Day and new moon setting beautiful intentions for healing, for restoration, and for universal love, light, and conscious expansion. Thank you. Take care.